Hello, everyone. And the topic for discussion is, do you want out of the illusion? Do you want out of the current vibration that you're in? And do you want to cross over into the great beyond? And what we're seeking out is interpolating what our vibration is and what our energy is, and deciphering these different messages that we get throughout our day, and seeing that energy is up for interpretation and allows us to become the master intuitive manifested in the human form. So what we're generating is this energy of imbibing the oracle of love, light, and wisdom, which is God manifested in the human form. And we allow ourselves to see that it allows us to have this force field of energy, which allows us to attract more and to determine what our prophetic nature is. It allows us to prophesy, but to lay a prophecy laid before us and understanding unconditional free will. And so when we understand this unconditional free will, then we embody this courageousness, we embody this empowerment, but we also embody this love in this balanced way of living and discerning and having wisdom towards everything that is inside of our lives. And so it's like just taking time to go out in the woods, taking time for yourself, but also taking time to rewire your brain and also rewire the circuitry that is inside of yourself, and just recharge your batteries. And just know every time that we do energy work, we have to recharge. That's why I've been doing lives during the day, because sometimes I would do the lives at night and I would be staying up late and I'd be, receiving too much. So I had to figure out a different way. So we always have to recharge ourselves, but we also have to validate what is important and what matters, but also situationally, how do we attract situations, circumstances, and experiences that allow us to see the greater picture here, that allow us to discern really what we are. And it allows us to see like, wow, that's very prophetic. I can intend in this way. I can use my energy as a way of tapping into my power, but also using my psychic gifts as a way of manifesting it into existence. So you have to speak everything into existence, but also you just have to let yourself know, do you want out of the illusion right here, right now? Do you want out of the situation financially you're in your life? Do you want out of suffering? So do you want out of obsessing over yourself? Because it's not about what is on the outside, it's about what's on the inside of ourselves. And when we figure that out, when we figure out it's all about the internal journey, then the external journey changes with that. And then with that comes the transfiguration of the soul, and then that becomes transmutation. And then we're able to change the energy into a shifting mechanism. So we have to disintegrate these other mechanisms that we've adopted, that we've conditioned ourselves to believe, but also we've conditioned ourselves to be a certain way, act a certain way, have a certain behavior. And then we see that having that certain behavior doesn't mean that you're vibrationally aligned. It actually means that we're more reactatory instead of proactive. So this maintains the consistent way of being an energetic being. So I'm loving that you guys are on the feed. Thank you for your likes. And also thanks for the other people that gave me like 2,000 likes yesterday. It's a pleasure to be with you guys. It's a pleasure to do these lives. It's an honor to do these lives. And it is really, really hot. It is super hot where I'm at in South Carolina. But when the sun comes out, every single day that you wake up, the phoenix from the ashes rises within yourself, because you know that it's a dawning of a new day. It's a dawning of a new era, but it's a dawning of a new time. That's why we're not based in time or linearity or subject to object relationships, right? So every single day, like when I wake up in the morning, I know I want to go for a run after I meditate, because once you meditate and then you move around, there is a recalibration and there's some structure, there's some fluctuation within the energy, right? So I wake up in the morning, I get a cup of coffee, I meditate, I run, and then I swim, I walk my dog, I do chores around the house, and then I do some studying. So this allows you to develop the sense of being a student, but you're making everything fun. You're not making everything like, oh God, I got to mop the floor. Oh God, I got to do this thing. Oh God, I got to talk to this person for my business. No, you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my God, I'm in awe that I get to walk my dog. I'm in awe that I get to do this. I'm in awe that I get to do that. And also, I wanted to tell a story. When I was 12 years old and I had a friend, and I was staying at his house one night, and I went to sleep. It was time to go to bed, and everybody was in bed, and I went to sleep, and I had a druid speak to me, and I had to go back to that exact moment last night to really decipher what the message was. So I want to say this quick story, and I'll get on with the message. So what happened was, I heard this voice whisper to me, and it wasn't sinister, but it had a vibration to it. And the voice said, "Do you want to get out?" And I told my girlfriend about it, and she's like, "You've never told me this story." And it was because I forgot about it. But I also didn't know how to interpret it like 3 years ago. So I went back to the exact moment where it happened. I went right back there to that moment that I received that message. And it was a prophetic message when I was very young. So I could have awakened earlier, but it just didn't happen because I wasn't ready for it. And obviously I wasn't attuned to spirituality. And this is what fueled this live. And this is what's very important. So that druid was speaking to me when I was not awakened. So the divine tries to use ways to reach out to you. The divine uses beings. The divine uses people. The divine uses even stuff that happens, like maybe you torn your ACL in college, and there was a reason why that happened. We don't understand why that happens, but it happens for the best reasons. But the important message was that that was a prophetic message that druid spoke to me when I was very young. So the message was, do you want out? That is very special. That means, like, do I want out of this rut? Do I want out of this stale vibration? Do I want out of this, like, relationship? Do I want out of this certain configuration of energy to generate different ways of seeing yourself? So you see that every time you see, like, you look at your past much differently. There's even exercises where you can totally change your past and change your parents and change your situations. But I don't think that is always the most powerful thing to do, because if we can accept our past, if we can accept our past transgressions, then we are able to maintain the present moment. That's why I always say place your desired reality in the present. But now you're able to even go back to places and see, like, where you were distorted, where you were triggered, where you projected, or even attracted certain situations to yourself. But this is a way to relate to people, to share to people, so that they can learn, like, wow, I used to see that stuff when I was younger. I always had this gift. I might have even blocked it out of my mind and placed it in my subconscious. So sometimes we put stuff in the back of our subconscious sometimes, like, that we haven't healed, that we haven't integrated, that we haven't cleared out of ourselves. So sometimes it's a good exercise to actually not necessarily look back in the rearview mirror, but just take an assessment and decipher it and have discernment so that you can understand even what you're going through right now. And that's what's beautiful about this prophetic message that this druid gave me. Do you want out? And it was a voice that had a vibration to it. There was some punch there. And it was just very abrupt, and I felt weird about it for a moment, but then I just went back to bed. But I didn't talk about this for like 3 years because I forgot about it. And then me and my girlfriend were watching this documentary, and then we got into this conversation about, like, UFOs and all the stuff that happens in Kansas City with the paranormal activity and, like, the big military bases there. So there's a reason for everything. And so when you are able to look at your life as a spiritual experience, as an experience to heighten the awareness, but to be aware and to be understanding and to seek out so many different things, and to know that every time that you are doing something, you are gaining something. So you're always adding something into your vibration. You're also adding more knowledge to your wisdom, but also you're adding more harmony to the way that you're unconditionally free. So you have the ability to be unconditionally, have the willingness to be free all the time. Free of your thoughts, free of your worries, free of your debts, if you will. So every one of us are living a prophecy, and every one of us is having the divine to assist us so that we can become divine assistants, so we can become a guide. I say this all the time. So to enlighten yourself is to always seek, without a shadow of a doubt, always seek out your gifting, always find new ways to have a heightened state of awareness. Because once you do that, you're fueling everything inside of you to activate that twin heart in everything that you do, so that there is infinity in everything that you do. When you always test things out, when you always experiment with your enlightenment, that means that you're not going about it with the same hypothesis or the same theory or the same laws of the universe. You're not going about it in the same way. You can follow the laws of the universe, that's fine. But how can you implement your own rules, your own laws, your own regulations, if you will? Can you implement your own universe inside of this universe right now? It's a tough question to ask yourself. But when you do ask yourself that question, it becomes very vivid because you live your life as if you're the dreamer of it. And what was funny is like when you allow yourself to ask the question in the philosophy of life, it means that you're driving that sense of mystery, but you're giving yourself variety. If you don't have variety within your life, then you're going to be bored with life. So you have to be edgy enough to give yourself variety. Because if you don't give yourself that, then there's nothing different in your life. And we're all unique and we're all different, and we all have different gifts and personalities and different traits that we can align our vibration to that story, but also to that overarching of the upliftment of ascension. So every day that you're lifted up in that state, it's almost as if you're tapping into a nothingness. The absolute is a nothingness. It means that everything can be created within that space, and then the light of awareness can come through you and be channeled through you. So this means that we're totally losing the sense of physical location or position or this or that or agree to disagree or anything of that nature, because it doesn't allow us to focus on things that don't matter. So like, we are a human vortex. We are a container. We are a cosmic codex. And we are an encyclopedia of spiritual knowledge. Sometimes my girlfriend, I was watching this comedian, and he said the name of this boy band. Or we'll watch several different things, and then I'll tell her about that thing because I knew about it and I knew the information on it. And she's like, "You're like a human encyclopedia." And it was funny because I answered a question one time about levitation, and I didn't necessarily know the answer to levitation. But then I thought about it for a moment, and then the answer came to me. The message came to me in that exact moment of levitation. And she asked me that question, but I knew the answer right then and there. So you allow yourself to see that the interaction that you have on a day-to-day basis is always an ongoing experience, to have that direct experience of the I am. So you allow yourself to see that it doesn't matter what you think or what you assume or how you feel you need to address it. But it's just the experience of it all. It's the mystery and the variety and the relevancy of that present moment is what is always going to be beautiful. And just asking yourself, do you want to get out? So we allow ourselves to bring the attention back, but the focus and the awareness and the clear, direct perception of that alignment, always. So perception is key, but also letting go of the physical focus, but balancing it out with the non-physical essence of reality. So allowance is key. Allowance is where you receive always. And you not only imbibe that power, but you are that power that wants to become you. So we don't allow ourselves to be swayed by anything. That means we have an impenetrative awareness. So when you develop that sense of relating, but it's not having a vibrational relationship necessarily with others, but it's that vibrational relationship and that waltz with the Creator. And when you can have that all the time, that means you're the Creator, the one infinite source of that direct perception. When you allow yourself to do that, you break any change that you're binded to. So any type of energy that you're binded to anymore, you just lose that direct perception of it completely. That's why I always say subtract and add and always do something different and energetically different. So right now, as I'm talking, there are energetic codes and there are nuggets of gold of what I'm saying. So there is an energy transference when we are sharing with each other. And telepathically, we're doing that. So we allow ourselves to telepathically connect into the motherboard of creation because we're all being connected to the motherboard of creation. So when we imbibe who we really are, we don't realize what we're doing energetically with the energy transference over the entire universe. So it's like when we have people who do lives and they want to do a big, large group setting. The reason why they want to do that is that they want to do that. They want to interact with everybody and still have their energy. But it's not that we're giving each other energy, but we're just giving energy and time and that precious awareness to that essence of source energy. And that's what's beautiful. So, and we're going to do a meditation as well. So, like this person asked a question why I wasn't interacting. I usually do when it comes close to the time I do the meditation. Okay. So I don't think I had a lack of communication. It was just I had a message to conduct from the divine and I was led to do that. So what I was really talking about is because there is these situations happening in Kansas City. I can't remember the exact state, but there was a lot of paranormal activity. There was actually a UFO that crashed in some part of Kansas City, and that's what we were watching, and my girlfriend and I got into this dialogue. So that's what it was. So don't think it was a lack of communicating. It was more of a lack of me channeling the message that was present. So, but also it's just asking yourself, do you want to be free? Do you want to be collected? Do you want to be calm and persevere through every type of situation? That you can lift yourself up in the toughest of situations. That you can use your heart as a way of relaying. But also you can allow others to be delivered from that as well. And that's the biggest point of this message, is just asking yourself, do you want to be delivered from everything from the past, from your past lifetimes, also just from the current state now, so that there can be a change inside of you? And every day I wake up in the morning and I know when I meditate, rather I have to cry every morning, rather I have to integrate every morning, heal every morning, face something within myself every single day. I wake up in the morning with that set of intention. So when you have that intention inside of you and you have that willingness to just grow and change and expand, you're always initiating out of something. And it becomes very powerful when you do this. And just don't be afraid to ask. Always ask questions, always seek, always align yourself to the direct correlation of source energy. You will be delivered the coordinates. You will know the way. It will be given to you. We just have to be receptive and open to receive it. And I realized that was the most potent and powerful thing to ever do in your life, was just to receive. Because in the beginning, it's giving. But when you have the ability to receive, then you give so much more. And it's very profound and beautiful and elevating. And you let go of grief, you let go of guilt, you let go of past mistakes, you let go of everything in that one moment. And you're instantaneously free of any judgment or condemnation or projections. Because you only project what you absolutely want at that direct moment. And you feed your spirit with the riches of life. You become the flower of life. You become the manifestation of life. So, I'm going to see if my guides want me to say anything else, but we're going to conduct a meditation. So receive this meditation. And just allow yourself to be and allow yourself to love. And thank you, Casey, so much for liking my lives. Thank you. And so relax your neck, relax your legs, stretch them out if you need to, but also just kind of shrug and then take a very big, deep breath. Exhale. And we're going to tap into that Kundalini energy, that energy of release. And we're going to tap directly to our heart, to our mind, the twin heart. And we're going to carry the sacred flame of creation. See how beautiful you are. See how valued you are. And just say that I want out. I want out of all the things that try to limit me. I want out of all the things that try to disrespect me. I want out of the things and the different configurations of energy of the past. And just say that I want out and I want delivered from anything that has to do with distortion. So we're going to ground in a deep middle Mother Gaia Earth. And we're also going to tap into the aqua flow of God's Source energy. Archangels of love and light who's willing to cleanse us of our auric field, tapping into God's Source energy and the great I Am, diving deep into middle Mother Gaia Earth, north, east, south, and west. We're going to connect with our higher self, We're going to connect with our light body. And we can make the declaration that I am the higher self. I am the ways of the Spirit. I am the truth of the Spirit. And I am the transfiguration of the soul. I choose to be unconditional free will, unconditional love. That I want to bring peace and harmony and generate this sense of luminosity on this earth. To use my gifts as a way of nurturing, of fertility, of love between one another and energy transference. And we directly say that we want out, we allow ourselves to be in a completely different vibration of the absolute reality. The highest density of consciousness. And when we are there, there's complete and utter allowance, automatic manifestations. You don't hesitate on a decision. The thoughts that you think are the thoughts of alignment. It's when you are fully balanced with power. Not trying to be powerful, but imbibing the power that is present. It allows you to be a non-dual awareness, an individuation of creation. To become that impenetrative awareness is to become that force field of energy. Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Seraphim, Raphael, Mother Mary, Saint Germain, the Intergalactic Council, Ashgar Command, Grandmother and the Tribal Women, the Osage Indians, and the Druid, when I was 12, is here as well, helping us with this meditation. We're tapping into the ancient bloodlines of the extraterrestrials, but we're also tapping into the ancient bloodlines of our archangels and the bloodlines of the druids that we were before in other lifetimes, connecting back into this energy of divine alchemy, of magic, of changing the state of being that you are. So, when we awaken back to this, we see how to use the power of the archangels, the extraterrestrials, and even the druids, and we allow ourselves to come back into alignment with our source of energy, but different configurations and different aspects of the I am presence. Some of you who are watching this live, you have been with Merlin in other lifetimes. A lot of you have interacted with the Himalayan masters, how they're able to do things and move from one side of the mountain to the other in 20 minutes when it would have taken them 3 hours to do so. Having certain physical capabilities that no normal human being would have. The divine wants us to tap into those energies of levitation, of telekinesis, and a lot of us are already doing this. But some of the prophets and the people that are coming in are able to do things that we cannot. We are coming close to the golden age in 2032. Some of this is already happening. A lot of us are getting rid of the vile things that are inside of us, the things that we're afraid to look at. But we're morphing it with the light and the dark aspects so that it can become one. A lot of us are transversers of energy, meaning they are quantum jumpers. They're able to cut a hole in the fabric of space and time and be able to go into different dimensions, in realms and planes, in different universes. A lot of us are meant to do this only internally. A lot of us are supposed to do this in a way of building character, building stability, building upon the present moment, right here, right now. Some of us are going to be so much different than what we are right now that it's not even going to be the same person that follows the same logic, that follows the same way of life. Because we all are developing our manifest abilities. It's time for a new era of consciousness. Where it is going to be out in the open. We have not seen anything yet. A lot of the people that were not recognized or were never even known, a lot of the saints that were able to water a plant with their hand and make it grow. In some Tibetan cultures, they were able to take rocks and put designs on them, kind of like how Jesus made water out of a rock. So these manifested abilities are coming in very quick, and these energies from different dimensions are coming in. And these energy fluctuations are coming so vast, it will be difficult for us to receive them. But the way that we're experiencing life right now isn't always going to be the way that we experience it. There are some people that have the ability to walk into a building where there was not statues built, and then be able to come out of that building, and then they are built, appeared out of nothing. So the ability that we're able to project houses, wealth, money, energy is a power that we've never seen before. A lot of you are able to smell without being directly within the vicinity of somebody. A lot of us are building that sense of community already in different civilizations of enlightenment. There's always a hierarchy, and there's always different archetypes of energy. Rather, it's coming from our dragons or fairies or archangels, but it's coming from so many different places. And we have to understand where we are channeling our energy, where it is coming from, but also where it's going. Because anybody can just put themselves out there, but it doesn't mean it's coming from a loving place. And we have to make sure that it's coming from that loving place, from the heart and the mind. But what's most important about this message is, do you want to get out, and do you want to remember who you are? But also ask yourself that question: do you want to be powerful once again? Do you want to align with the energies of the Ascended Masters? And are we willing to ask to the point where we believe, to the point where we know? Self-mastery is when we master every aspect of our life, in every portion, in every fashion, in every configuration, but also aligning ourselves energetically to the fullest extent. Where we allow our life to be a fairy tale, to be a fantasy. And to be as real as we can make it. A lot of you will see orbs, a lot of you will see UFOs, a lot of you will see so many different things and experience so many different things with other Ascended Masters, and also see things that will stop you dead in your tracks. And some of you will tell these stories. Some of you will have the ability, and some are already doing this, to walk on water. The Notre Dameses, the Jesuses, the Joan of Arcs, the Edgar Caseys are coming. And we have to be ready for them. The children of the cosmos are coming. And angels that we don't know are coming. Different guides that we've never experienced before are coming. And this new golden age is coming. And we just have to be prepared for it. And the question you just need to ask yourself, do you want to be a part of it? My leg is dead asleep. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that at all. That message to come through. So I hope you guys appreciated that message. I hope it blessed you. And also just know that I know for a couple of nights that I haven't been going live and doing readings, so I might do that later. It depends on how I feel later, and also if I want to go to bed or something like that. So I hope you guys were blessed by that channeled message from my higher self, and every day I channel the higher self. So in that message was really very cryptic, but also just letting you guys know what is happening and what we're coming into and what we're really experiencing, and also what we're having our energy pulled towards, and making use of our time and our energy and our effort, and knowing that we have to share this message. Because if we don't share this message, then who is going to share it? And we need other people to step up into different leaderships. And everybody is different in their own way. Some of you are going to make psychic schools. Some of you are going to do retreats and stuff like that, and have podcasts and stuff like that. And it needs to get out there, but it's going to be more comfortable. It already is in a lot of different movies and stuff like that. So it's coming to this, and people don't even realize what the people who are meditating and that are psychic are doing, and how it's going to impact the course of humanity in the next 20 to 30 years. But it's really coming down to that, and it's really coming in very vast, and it's coming in very fast. So it's really understanding that it's coming, and we just have to be prepared for it, and we just have to ask ourselves, do we want out of mediocrity, and do we want to experience the true vibration of the Oracle of Bloodline Wisdom? Do we want to really experience the gifts and the magic that is here for us all? And if we're ready for that, and we're open to that and receptive towards that, then we have it beat. We have life beat. So I was not expecting that message to come through so strongly. Even the Druid, when I was 12, came through. So there was a reason why I talked about all the dialogue in this message here, because it was very essential. And sometimes you will get into a dialogue with your friend, and there will be a cosmic encoding inside of yourself, and there will be a cosmic codex in you installed. And it's just the interaction and the different waves of energy, the different wavelengths that we're on. And it's really amazing the experiences that I've had Not only with my girlfriend, because she allowed me to awaken and I met her 3 years ago, but just the experiences internally, just experiencing that internal bliss, but also just having downloads for like 2 hours. I wanted to talk about that, and I'll probably get off soon. Having downloads for almost like 2 hours. And there's a reason why this has to be done, because every time that we have like a metaphysical surgery or to have a rebirth, and it's kind of like simulating the way that Christian people say that they're getting baptized. So every time that we have like energetic downloads or we have messages come through, what we're doing is that we're coming back into the Aqua River flow of God Source energy. Wow, that just came through. So, because that's why I go swimming a lot. And I always have these amazing experiences. And I've done also water lives years ago. I find it more powerful in the woods though. But I notice when I'm in the water, I'm able to do things that I'm not able to do in other aspects of my life. When I'm out in the woods, I'm able to do other things that I'm not able to do with other aspects of life, right? But I had this Kundalini energy just source through me. I felt like there was so much release, but also there was something sending out. Yeah, I will post it on my YouTube channel, White Wolf the Oracle. I'll post it on BitChute, White Wolf the Oracle 23_@. That's the only like live videos that I post at, and also on TikTok. I used to go live on Facebook a bunch. I have a bunch of old videos on my what's that called? Flash drive. So I'll post those there, and also Instagram, whitewolf4741, if you want to see the short videos to kind of get a quick burst of learning and relaying to one another. And I've been making my lives a little bit longer because I see that a lot of different people come into the feed, and sometimes people miss the messages and stuff like that, but also making them longer so that there is dialogue, there's a meditation, but also there's something after the fact. Because that brings awareness, and that brings a different spontaneous combustion of energy. And when there's a different spontaneous combustion of energy all the time, that means that there's different particles, and there's different neurons, and there's different psychic atomic energy being sent out all the time. So a lot of spirituality is a lot like science, and we don't realize that it is a lot like that. Because we are the divine instrument that is generating the manifestation or the creation or the projection or the hypothesis and the theory and the experimentation of enlightenment, because we're the divine instrument. We're not taking this like 0-calorie energy drink and using it as an instrument to develop the analyzation of data. We are the instrument that develops the analyzation of data, of codes, of downloads, of encrypted messages of prophetic nature. So we're the instrument. That's why spirituality is like a science. And it's so beautiful. So I want to thank you guys for this message. Book private sessions with me as well. You can book a private session for $70 for 1 hour psychic readings, and a healing session for $60, and $50 for a psychic class. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for 3,000 likes. And thank you so much for receiving this message. And also I will post this everywhere else. So thank you so much. God bless. And if you see me later, I might go live later. I haven't decided yet. I might go live later on tonight around like 10 or 11 to do readings or healings. But the thing is with that, my guides told me to like, share, and gift for an in-depth reading. So that's the only thing that you have to do. So I want to thank you guys. Appreciate you receiving that message. I appreciate everybody who likes and shares, and you guys make this possible. The recipients make us courageous and loving and caring, and sharing is very daring. and it's very compassionate to the degree to where we're able to connect with each other without having to know one another, and realizing that we're all a soul family, a part of this co-creation. So thank you guys, God bless, and namaste.